Given the likely forecast conditions correction in the house market, if there is a correction, is now the time to buy in or invest into buy-to-let properties, or wait until the correction happens? I'm going to go straight to Bronwyn and to Paul Hilliard on that. So Bronwyn, what's your thoughts? Is there a correction here that's going to happen?
Well, there's an awful lot of these questions happening at the moment, and I wish I had that crystal ball that we would all love to have. And it depends who you speak to, really. It is all about the economy. It is about confidence in the market, and it's about supply and demand. So, you know, it's a personal thing. I know there are deals everywhere. If you can find motivated sellers and buy below market value, you need to do your due diligence, of course you do. But if you can find a deal that's going to give you a return on investment that suits you, you do the deal. You do the deal when you find the deal. Now, you know, you can sit back and wait and then find that prices go up. They certainly are near where I am at the moment, going up, not down. But, you know, I think there will be, well, when we say correction, I can talk for hours about this. I don't think there needs to be a correction. I think it's about confidence and the supply of housing in the market. If people all go, hang on a minute, I'll wait till after Christmas. But the stamp duty holiday has certainly got a bit of a frenzy going out there. So I don't think things are going to, you know, decline hugely in good employment areas. So that's where I'm going to nail my hat. Is that right phrase? I'm gonna save. So yeah, that's my view. Over to Paul.
Thanks, Bronwyn. I have to agree with you. The old adage is, when's the best time to invest? And it's 20 years ago, when the likes of Simon Hodgson and myself, and presumably Tim and everyone else on this panel were starting to buy. Good times, but we're not 20 years ago. We're right here, right now. And if you do your due diligence correctly and you're hitting the returns that you expect, I hope you've all got your KPIs for your purchases. And if they tick all those KPIs, then why hold off? You're going to save the stamp duty, which may be up to £15,000 if you're spending on an expensive one. At the moment, I'm looking at the once in a lifetime property, and I think I'm even going to pay slightly higher than what they're asking for. It's because it's the right deal at the right time and ticks all the boxes for me. So as long as it meets your KPIs, then I'd say go for it. As regards stamp duty holiday, yes, I feel that come April the 1st next year, we will see a bit of a, you say correction. I think correction is better than a crash. But I think there will be definitely a stutter in the market, and it will stutter to a halt because everything's going to be everyone's going to be aiming to complete by the 31st of March. So if you're going to buy now. If you're not, or if you don't need to, then hold fire, because I'm sure there's going to be some bargains next year, because there is a lot of landlords who have been caught by Section 24 this year and have just realised, wow, it's going to cost me a lot of money. So if you can, wait. If you can't, then if it ticks the boxes, go for it. Over to you, Simon.
I'm actually going to stick on that same subject, because Tim, you mentioned in the last session that there would indeed be a potential, well, not you said there would be a crash, but you suggested that there could be a lot of volume going in now, but it might be this whole SDLT is covering up the main issue that's going to happen in 1st of April. Do you still see the volumes going up in terms of conveyancing, and do you still feel that come April there will be a drop in transactions?
Okay, first question first. In terms of sophistication, if I understood how to use share screen properly, I'd show this lovely chart now, but I can't. So I'm going to give you my really complicated piece of graphics. There we go. That's the average number of conveyancing transactions we have every month. During lockdown, it went down like that. Literally, it died. We had 3 inquiries in the first 4 weeks. And now what's happened, it's gone up like that. And what's interesting is the gap we missed is almost the same as the bulge. So I'll give you an example. We had 3 inquiries in 4 weeks. We then took on 180 in the first 4 weeks, 2 months ago. So there's a massive change, which is largely, I think, accounted for by the hold up. So I think things are good at the moment and strong. I suspect that the market will come to a frenzy. I think, as Paul mentioned, in March, we've seen this before. Whenever the government changed tax rules, everyone has an absolute frenzy. So I think our conveyancers are dreading March, because people will insist on getting done by the end of March, and this horrible rush. So, and I think we're going to deal with a question later about why the housing market is slowing down in terms of transactions, and that's relevant. But I do think next year is likely to have some sort of dip, whether it's a full crash, whether it's a partial crash, like Bronwyn says. At the very least, I think it's going to be in certain sectors. I think people will struggle. For example, hotels. We just had news of someone we know who owns a chain of hotels who's in serious issues. And so these perhaps will come onto the market, and people may not want to buy them at full price. So I think there'll be particular sectors which will be cheap, but there are also other factors. It's not just coronavirus. We are now in a recession, but because of what the government's done with things like the furlough holiday, actually, we're not really in recession. It's kind of a false recession. But as that's being taken away, the full impact of a recession will hit. As I said before, The Economist has always talked about a 90% economy, where the British economy loses 10%, and they're still saying that. It's above the average in some other countries because we're so dependent on services. Plus the fact that you're then going to have the stamp duty holiday removed, plus the fact that whether you like it or not, we've still got Brexit coming up, and there will be a political impact on that. So each one of those things could tick the housing market into recession, which we're already in. So to summarise, no one knows. I think you're spot on. If you have got a bargain now, go for it. But I do think the bargains are harder to find. Auctions, for example, prices are higher. I think at some stage next year, probably Q2 next year, which is kind of April to June, July, will be probably the best time. But who knows? None of us know for sure. But that's my instinct, and I believe in it so much. I'm not buying anything now. I'm sitting on my hands, picking up some cash to buy next year. But you asked me this time next year whether I was right.